The produce is same.
Okay.
But if we go to that markets, the value will be more. So the only income generation profession was farming.
Correct.
It was, we used to grow at least 30 to 40 types of vegetables in batches. So in India, it is not like that.
Correct.
93% of the Indian farmers are marginal farmers. Organic Mandya, to not as a commercial enterprise, we started as a cooperative society. It's very difficult to sell it to one person, right?
Hello viewers, welcome back to the latest episode on GIBS IRE Talks Podcast, powered by GIBS Business School, a place where innovation meets inspiration. This is Professor Guru Prasad, host for today. Well, you will agree to this fact if I say that agriculture at one point of time was a leading contributor to the India's GDP. I'm talking somewhere in the 1980s and so on. But very sad and hurt me, to inform that of late, probably this sector, the kind of priority or focus that it deserved is not getting it, right? For various obvious reasons. And having said that as well, of late, since last few years, we are seeing a lot of revolution that has contributed to the agriculture industry. Technology is playing a wonderful role, no doubt about it. And today, to deliberate on the same topic, I have a very interesting personality who left his software job or software career in California and came back to a place called Mandya, which is a beautiful town in Karnataka, to support the farmers. At that point of time, we had series of troubles in terms of farmer suicide, youth migrating, and we needed someone to actually pitch into the right time and transform this sector. And today, I'm very happy to welcome Mr. Madhu Chandan, who is also the farmer and the founder of Organic Mandya. On behalf of all my viewers, I extend a heartfelt welcome to you, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Of the series of podcasts that we have launched so far, I think this is the first time I'm interacting somebody with the farmer. And it's indeed such a pleasure and honor for us, because I also come from a place where agriculture is playing an immense role. And it also really hurts when the industry is dipping down. But we have somebody like you who has probably, I would say, stepped and thought to make a difference in this sector. So before I get into this, can you just tell us about your early life, your past, your education, your upbringing?
So I started... So I was born in Mandya, but I was brought up in Bangalore.
Okay.
Then I did my engineering like every Bangaloreans do. I went into engineering. Then I started my career as a software engineer. Worked with various MNCs. Then later I started my own software company.
Okay.
Back in US and India.
Oh.
So that's how I launched my career. So it was a very successful career in software. We had a product based company. So very successful career. So what made me come back is during 2012, 13, 14, there was a severe drought in Karnataka.
Correct.
So
I remember that.
During those period, there were a lot of farmer suicide. I recollect in 2012-13, there were about 230 or 240 farmers died.
That's a massive number.
Yeah, so it was a big number. So that made me think, so for everyone there is a support person. For every industry there is a support, this thing. But for agriculture there is no support.
Absolutely.
So there is nobody working with the farmers. So everyone loves farmers. Everyone talks with a great care.
Absolutely.
When it comes to
care and
farmers.
Respect. Yes.
But nobody is on the ground to support them or guide them. So that's when I thought, let me put an end to my software. Let me come back and see what's happening. How I'm an engineer. We provide solution. So I thought, let me go and see, understand, and come up with a solution to this farmers. So that's how I came back.
So how long you were a part of the software career?
I was for 15 years.
15 years?
I was
Wow.
in software for 15 years.
And how long you were in US? When did you
Or
shift?
pretty much 15 years. I was there back in India as well as I used to travel a lot. Not only US, I was in UK for many days, South Africa, Philippines,
Wow.
Israel.
I would say that's a very bold move to leave that career and come back.
Yeah, it's at that point of time, I never gave it such a thought. Yeah, if you look back, it was a very bold move because for me, I wanted to always come back and do something for farmers. So yeah, it was kind of a bold move. If I
Incredible, because the cause that you picked up is really very good. Because as you rightly pointed, there's a huge amount of respect and regards to farmers as always. There's a beautiful saying, right? Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. So there are two pillars of any organization.
right.
So when this particular industry saw this dipping, what was the thought running in your mind?
See, today's farming. What I see, I never did farming in my life.
Is it?
So I had seen farming from a very from a very
So neither your family were doing any of the
no,
agri
no. My
activity.
dad was working in agriculture university. He also never did farming.
Okay.
My grandparents, yes, of course they did, but we always watched from a distance when we used to go to for study all day for summer vacations. When we go, we used to see it from a distance,
Correct.
but we never
Did it?
got involved in the process. So when I came back, I was understanding what's happening. Then what I understood is our grandparents, agriculture was a very richest profession. Our grandparents were rich. So it's, but their sons, my father's siblings, they have become poor. And their kids, most of them have migrated to cities.
So the activity stopped at one generation.
Yeah. So the thing is, after India got independence, a lot of universities came on agriculture. So they blindly adopted Western agriculture practice to Indian farmers.
So there was not much of a research done before.
There was not much of a research done because for Indian climate and for the Indian farmers
okay.
who hold, see, Western agriculture practices are good for large sector of land. So if you go to UK or US, a farmer holds a minimum of 500 acres, 5,000 acres. That's how the farmers are. So in India, it is not like that.
Correct.
92-93% of the Indian farmers are marginal farmers
Absolutely.
who hold less than 3 acres of land. So when they blindly adopted the Western practices here,
That didn't work.
which doesn't work on a small scale. So that is when I realized that we should go back. We should follow what our ancestors used to follow,
Wow.
which was sustainable,
That's great.
which had a very less money outflow. Only large money inflow was there. So that's when we started. So we are not doing something new. We are following what our ancestors followed, and they were doing organic farming. But at that time, it was not defined as organic farming. So now we came up with the same this thing, old wine in a new bottle. So that's how it is. See,
Very well said.
the most important thing I'll tell you. See, there were only two professions back then. Before all this, post independence, many professions came.
True.
Pre-independence, barrister was there, lawyer was there.
Correct.
So policeman was there. So some, if you go back, if you go back, there was only two professions which bought money. One is farming, the other one is stealing,
Okay.
dacoity. So the only income generation profession was farming. So if you look at the history,
In a positive way.
yeah,
Keeping dacoity aside.
keeping dacoity aside. So if you look at the history, India as see what we see today is India. They show it. It's a poor nation. It's a very people are poor. That's what Western media this thing portray Indian. So why did Mughals or people from Afghanistan? Why did they come to India? After them, why did Portuguese come? Why did British
come.
Why did they come? So India was rich. It proves that India was rich.
Yes, it was.
So India was rich, and all this richness was generated from farming. India did farming. There was no software. There was no other professionals where they gave tax. Only farmers gave 33% to the kings, right? So it's proven because of the rule English, British and Afghans. It's proven that India was already rich. And to top it, there is one famous British economist called Angus Madison. He has done a world GDP study from zero to 19th century. He has done. In this research, it says, you go through his paper, he says India's GDP was around 26 to 27%, which stood first in the world. Next was China, and the Eastern European countries was less than a percent. Less than a percent. So you can see from the history, and you can listen from the economists. India was rich, and this richness came from agriculture. So our people, after post-independence, they did not study all these factors. They just implemented, and now farmers have become poor. 99% of the farmers in India are under BPL, below poverty line.
Very unfortunate.
So that is the present condition of India.
I mean, the way you are put forward with the statistics is amazing. I also recollect reading an article which said, had India not been looted by these Britishers and Afghans, I think the current economic size would be somewhere closer to 60 trillion, which is much more than, I would say, China and very closer to US.
Yes.
History speaks. Great. Sir, take us through Organic Mandya. I'm really excited to know that. It's been doing incredible contributing to the sector. Take us through that.
So, Organic Mandya, we started Organic Mandya to not as a commercial enterprise. We started as a cooperative society. See, we wanted our people, farmers, to adopt the ancestral practices. So, around 250 farmers, we came together. We started a cooperative society. The cooperative society, farmers started growing, and they started asking me, where is the market? I'm growing organically. Where is my market? Where is the price, differential pricing?
Correct.
So if you're not giving me the differential pricing or the market, why should I do this? So that's when we thought, like, yeah, we should give them access to the platform, marketing platform. So that's how we started a private limited company called Organic Mandya. We started with a store so that we can sell whatever our farmers are producing in a store.
Correct.
So that's how this initiative started.
And now I think you have gone beyond that now.
Yeah, now
See, you have a lot of centers also established in various places.
Yeah, we are close to 19 locations.
Fantastic.
19, 20, 21 locations, I think.
Within Karnataka?
Karnataka and Hyderabad.
And Hyderabad.
Telangana.
Okay.
So we are growing. Now we are more than 12,000 farmers are there.
Wow.
So we are growing at a very rapid
How do you connect with these farmers?
See, as soon as I came, I sat in a village. I lived in a village. I became a farmer. I myself is a farmer, practicing farmer.
Right.
So that helped me to connect with the farmers because I was doing their work. I was communicating in their language that farmers listening. So they respected me. So they thought that there is somebody who's not coming here to preach is also practicing. So that's how I was able to connect to the farmers. So that's how I was able to build such a large supply chain. Our supply chain is very, very huge.
Any plans to get into north part of India? Because I feel, I was discussing you backstage, you agree to the fact that agriculture is in a lot of booming sector there in the north part of India.
Yeah, see, more than, we have extended to Telangana. Next, we might get into Pune. I'm more interested to go to UAE, Singapore, and US.
Okay.
So why I'm thinking, so the effort is same, the produce is same.
Okay.
But if we go to that markets, the value will be more, and we can give a better price, better price to our farmers.
Is it? Okay.
So even they get a good this things, and so that's why I'm more inclined rather than extending to India, because India's palette is
It's quite enormous.
so North India has a different taste.
True.
Forget about North India. In Maharashtra, you can find 25, 30 different palettes.
Different palettes,
You go to Gujarat, that's a different.
True.
So it's difficult to adopt to Indian market. You can adopt to South India, but if you go above South India, it is very difficult. The palette itself is different.
Great.
So that's what the plan is. Once we get into Telangana and Maharashtra, these two places we have a great demand. Then we are thinking of launching it in these
Lovely.
3 places in abroad.
You mentioned some of the countries. How are these countries doing in terms of agriculture?
See, these 3 countries where there is no agriculture in Dubai,
Yes,
UAE regions, it's all
more
desert.
into oil and these days even technology and real estate.
Singapore also it all imports agricultural produce.
Okay.
USA also most of the vegetables and all comes from Brazil.
So you consider this as an opportunity for Organic Mandya?
Yes, this is, and the awareness of organic is wide and more in US and Singapore and UAE. So it will be easy for us to sell. In India, I have to fight with a duplicate product. See, oil, refined oil.
Yes.
So I have to fight with 180 rupees oil versus 400 rupees oil. That is cooking oil. Ours is cold pressed. That's called real oil. That's what our ancestors called as cooking oil, not the 180 rupees engine oil.
True.
So here we have to give lot of stories to the consumers why you should not eat that. So much of effort is involved to make them healthier. But in other countries, people are already educated.
They're educated,
Becomes
they're aware,
easier.
they practice it.
Yes. So that is what.
I also got good feedback about countries like Indonesia, Thailand doing extremely well in the agriculture activity.
Yeah, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, the horticulture is good, and they themselves produce a lot of this thing, and they export it to other countries.
I think India also does a bit of exports from these countries.
Yeah, India is the second highest exporter of organic produce in the world. India is the second highest. So India will shortly will become the first biggest, largest exporter of organic produce in the world.
Awesome to know.
India adoption is good, but it still has to go a long way.
From a farmer's point of view, I have this interesting question. As a consumer, I buy a lot of vegetables on a regular basis and I pay some hefty price. These days, the prices are shooting up. My question is whether the farmers are also receiving the same good amount of price?
No, it's a totally a different thing. See, when you're buying a tomato from the market, let's say you're buying it at 50 rupees.
Yes.
The farmers usually get anywhere between 30% of it.
30%.
30% of it. 30-35% max. The rest, so many ants changes.
Can that hands be removed?
It's not possible.
There's something called as farm to table.
No, it's not possible.
Not
See,
possible.
people think that middleman is causing the.
I have the same belief.
No, that's what every individual. That's what every individual thinks.
But it's not.
Middleman is. See, that's a chain. That's a chain. Everyone keeps their margin.
Correct.
Right. Everyone keeps their margin. So the chain is so deep, and because it's perishable.
Right.
And the chain is deep. So that's why so many margins go on. So in our case, so recently for tomato, it was selling at 80 rupees. So we were 60 rupees per kilo. We are the only person involved between farmer and the consumer.
Correct.
So we were paying them 48 rupees. Around 80% went to the farmer.
Okay.
20% we as a company kept that margin. So if you change more ants, naturally
That is what.
farmers will get less.
So, I mean, is there an attempt where you can make or establish a direct connect from farmers to the customers?
See, that's the problem, no? So the Indian agriculture, what they have, the modern Indian agriculture, what they have taught to the farmers is, if you have 5 acres, just put tomato in all 5 acres. It's very difficult to sell it to one person, right? Like Guru, how many gurus should I find to sell tomatoes in 5 acres? So tomatoes in 5 acres will produce around 50 to 80 tons of tomato.
True.
50 to 80 tons. How can one single person connect? It needs multiple middlemen, multiple middlemen to sell this 70-80 tons of tomato, right?
True.
So that's what. So the Indian agriculture earlier, the 5-acre farmer, he never used to grow one single crop at once.
Correct.
It was, he used to grow at least 30 to 40 types of vegetables in batches
Correct.
throughout the year.
Yes.
So he never went outside his village to sell his produce. The village itself consumed all his produce.
Absolutely.
So now in a village, if they have, if there are 100 farmers with 500 acres, all 100 farmers will put tomato only.
Correct.
All 100 farmers will put paddy only.
Overproduce them.
All 100 farmers will put wheat only. So how can the village itself cannot consume?
Consume so overproduce them.
Overproduction. So then they have to find a middleman after middleman to sell the produce.
So that's a beautiful concept you said, multiple crops in 1 acre, season based. Now, the important question to you here, sir, we are witnessing a lot of fluctuations in the climate. We're talking about global warming and all that. A lot of climate changes are happening. Even today it was raining here. I mean, it is absolutely not a season where you are expecting rainfall. Now, have this impacted the agriculture industry in a larger scale?
So I would say weather impact in Indian agriculture, this thing is very minimal.
Okay.
It's not extreme weathers. So this kind of small things
Will not be a
will
problem.
not impact. And see, this might impact if you are doing a monocropping.
Okay.
If you're doing a single crop, but if you when you're doing multi-cropping, so what happens is for some vegetables, this weather is good. For carrots, this is the best weather. With little bit of sprinkler rain is really good for carrots.
Okay.
So production might drop with this weather, but other production will increase.
Okay.
So that's why we have to practice multi-cropping.
So somebody who's reliant on only one crop, then it can be a
It's
disaster.
a disaster, yeah. It is a disaster.
What about soil fertility? I've heard people talking a lot about it. They say that, we have lost that fertile soil which used to be there 15, 20 years back.
Definitely. Again, the reason for losing the fertile soil is monocropping. I'll give you the example. So you put paddy this season. So let's assume that your land is fertile. So now you started monocropping. You put paddy. So what does paddy require? It requires same type of nutrition. Next season, again you put paddy. Where is that nutrition? All the nutrition, the water paddy's nutrition has been drawn from the first and second crop.
Correct.
Where will the land generate? Then what will happen? You have to put inputs from outside. Because that nitrogen, phosphorus or potash, which was present in the soils, are already taken by the previous crops. So regeneration takes time.
True.
So after this crop is done, in 15 days again you are putting paddy, the same crop, same nutrition. So what happens is naturally the natural nutrition has depleted from the agricultural lands. That's why farmers are dependent heavily on fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, because there is no natural nutrients present in the soil today.
And we also have different color soil, right? In north part of Karnataka, I saw this black soil, if I'm right.
Black.
And here we have red, if I'm right.
Black, red, both are good for agriculture.
Both are good for agriculture.
Both are good for agriculture. So only thing is that's what I come to the topic of multi-cropping.
Correct.
When you do multi-cropping, so one crop it varies. The nutrition varies. Some crop will give back the nutrition. Some crop will take that crop's nutrition. So it is like kind of a regenerative agriculture. It is. So you don't need chemical fertilizers.
Correct.
Your cow manure can be the
Okay.
it acts as a biomass as well as the nutrition to the soil.
Great. Very great. Now, if I take example of Mandya itself, the typical farmer of Mandya, where with limited educational background and all that, are they very much aware about this multi-cropping and all these things now, or the latest technology that is available?
So when today's farmers are educated,
Okay.
when the education has ruined the humans. So when they were uneducated, they knew all this. They knew all this knowledge was there when they were uneducated. Today's education has made them to think in one direction.
Quite unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Where do you see Organic Mandya next 10 years down the line?
We would see at least 200 to 300 K farmers,
Fantastic.
2 lakh to 3 lakh farmers adopting organic farming. We would definitely, in next 10 years down the line, Mandya, the district which is between Bangalore and Mysore, will definitely be the hub of organic produce in India. The way Coimbatore is today for any industrial application, for motors, for every, you will go to Coimbatore to buy. It has become a, likewise, in 10 years, Mandya will become the organic hub of India.
Lovely. I think with your efforts and support from your team and your farmers from Mandya, I think this is definitely turn out to be a reality one day.
Yes, yes.
I missed out on very important question on water. Do we have water crisis? Everyone talks about water crisis because it's a major ingredient for agriculture activity. How do you see this?
Definitely, if the current practices, monocropping is practiced, definitely water crisis will be there. Already you see, whenever there is a drought, there is a big fight going between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka.
That's a common problem always,
So,
every year.
So,
It will start in few months down the line now.
yeah. So water will be a big crisis
True.
if they don't stop monocropping. Sugarcane. Every 60% of Mandya's farmers, 60-70% are sugarcane growers.
Correct. Yes.
Needs a lot of water.
Right.
Sugarcane is made out of water.
True.
Paddy needs a lot of water.
Lot of water. Yes.
It's very, very difficult. So unless and until they convert into multi-cropping, going forward will become very, very difficult.
I know. That's a part and parcel of the game.
Yeah.
I hope to see some turnaround there in the coming days.
See,
You're
see
optimistic about
our yeah, we don't see, there are two types of irrigation. One is drip irrigation.
Drip. Yes.
Another is flood irrigation.
Correct.
Flood irrigation, you flood the land.
Right.
That requires, so in drip irrigation, we need 10, out of 100%, we need 10% of water. In flood irrigation, you take about 90% of the water.
Correct.
So there's huge difference between these two.
True. This podcast is specially meant for the budding entrepreneurs, right? As I was telling you backstage, there are a lot of youngsters I find these days, started focusing on agriculture, have left their corporate jobs and have got into farming and all that. I'm very sure my students, viewers here, there would be somebody who would love to explore this industry. So any suggestions for them?
So we all are, whoever is in this room, we all call us as Bhumiputra,
Correct.
right?
Agree.
We are the sons of soil. So everyone there.
True.
Why do you call as Bhumiputra? Because after you came from your mother's womb, whatever you have grown now has come from the soil. You have eaten from the soil. So naturally, for every human being, there is an inclination towards farming.
Okay.
Out of 100, 90 of them like playing with mud, playing with water, playing with soil.
I love this point. Yes, I agree.
So, and here, what is the composition of Earth? 72% water, 28% mass.
Right.
What is the composition of human body? Same. So that's why we are called Bhumiputra. So everyone has this inclination towards farming. I would say, I've seen. So why they are not going towards farming is the media. When you imagine a farmer, see, when you imagine a football player, you imagine Ronaldo. There is a glamour in it. There is a lot of glamours associated with it, right? Absolutely. Maradona, you associate gold. So for every profession has glamour. Our idiots have shown agriculture in such a way that, so whenever you remember agriculture, what do you remember? You remember a farmer looking at the sky, torn clothes, with a barren land.
Barren land.
So that's so people, even though they love agriculture,
we have projected this in a very wrong way.
Very wrong way. India, see, from past 40 years it is like that. But earlier Indian farmers were rich. My grandmother, you ask grandmothers, their grandmothers had necklaces made out of gold coin. They had many ornaments, golden ornaments. Farmers' wives,
The richest one.
It was the richest to this thing. And farming is one profession where it multiplies. You put one seed, you get thousands of seeds back. But whereas industry, you take a phone, you take 100 ingredients, so only 70% efficiency you get, 30% goes for a waste. It's a division. Agriculture is a multiplication, but it's not done in the right way, and it's not depicted in a right way.
Absolutely.
So
There is the gap.
Here, if when people like me, when your audience sees people like me, who is wearing a hoodie, wearing a modern dress, and he calls farmers, there is the glamour associated.
True.
So they would then start thinking towards farming.
Absolutely.
So
I think it's high time we start projecting this way.
yes, I do. I am glamorized agriculture. That's why more youths are coming into agriculture.
Fantastic.
Once they come into agriculture, we should teach them what our ancestors did.
Sir, as an educationist, I'm really concerned. What is agriculture universities doing there? What are they doing?
See,
Sorry, I don't know whether this is the right platform to ask, but I was quite curious because I know there are a lot of agriculture universities in India.
yeah. So my father used to work in agriculture university,
Oh, okay.
GKVK.
Okay.
So he was teaching agriculture. He retired as a vice chancellor. But irony is, my father never did any agriculture in his lifetime.
Okay.
So, and my father studied Western agriculture because that's what
You mentioned about it.
Western agriculture practices.
Yes.
That's what universities thought that
It would be a best move in India.
best move in India. So that the same thing was taught to the farmers, monocropping. So Indian farmers never did monocropping. They did multi-cropping. They used cow dung. They never used any fertilizers. So these things, Western practices made them convert. So now it's not that universities, it's not that I don't blame universities. It was not a very well thought process at the time of adoption.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They blindly did it. Now universities have realized. See, if you go to GKVK, now they have started organic farming practices.
Okay.
If, every university has started. Government of India has recognized organic farming. So they have even gave Padma Shri to natural farming method Guru Subhash Parekh.
Okay.
So they are recognizing it. There are many schemes which is come out of for organic farming practices. So it's a cycle. No, life is a cycle. So at some point of time, chemical farming was at peak. Now it is going down. Again, this will come up. Yeah.
Great. Students are always interested to listen to some numbers. Would you like to throw some numbers and investment, ROI, some quick understanding for them?
See, one is before getting into agriculture, of course, they can blindly invest on land.
Right.
Land will always fetch them in India. It will always fetch them good returns. So that they can be blind.
True.
So once they come, if they want to do something, 1 acre is good. In 1 acre, they can earn about 1 lakh rupees per month per acre. There are
How much it would cost to buy a 1 acre agriculture land?
so it depends from
Places,
to
locations,
places.
yes.
So they can start. It can start from now. Land prices have gone up. Depends on accessibility. There are many factors. From 25 to lakhs to 60 lakhs.
How much in Mandya?
Monday again depends. You will get it at 30 lakhs also. You'll get it at 2 crores also. It depends on the
On 1
where
acre?
the 1 acre.
Okay.
So
That's a huge difference there.
yeah, it's the 2 crore wala lands will be on the main road.
Right.
Accessibility.
Easier.
It might be fully developed farms. The one which plain this thing. If you take 1 acre, do some research. So we conduct free workshops on how to earn 1 acre, 1 lakh per month per acre.
Wow.
So people should attend this. Take it as a weekend farming. Slowly learn for over next 2-3 years.
And then get on to full
Then once they are comfortable, then they should take it as full-fledged.
The students, a lot of them talk about work-life balance, corporate stress. Those things are not here in agriculture, right?
See,
You
agriculture.
look so relaxed and calm and
Agriculture is one profession where you do yoga, where you do gym. Everything is hidden in that profession. Where you do meditation.
true.
So yoga, when you are digging something, that is your resistance training. When you are relaxing, that is your yoga. When you're sleeping under the tree, that is meditation. So everything is involved. So
This
it's
is
a stress-free
biggest privilege.
privilege. And here everyone is taking vitamin D tablets, supplement. So you get it free of cost.
Free of cost, yeah.
Vitamin B12 they take, get it from the soil free of cost. So yeah, it's a lot of health benefit is associated, not only money. And the best thing I'll tell you, 1 lakh what you earn is free of income tax. There is no income tax on agriculture.
But students, yeah,
So,
very true.
And see, 1 lakh is one thing what they can earn. There is no the income tax. That's one thing. No
It's exempted.
Healthcare fees. And the cost, and you produce most of your goods. There is no the money which flows out to buy.
Absolutely.
So it's great saving, and health, wealth will be super rich.
Lovely. End of the day, that is what it matters.
Yeah.
Sound body and sound mind.
Yes.
A good, decent income.
Yes.
Right. Great. I think that was wonderful interacting. I believe students might have got loads of takeaways from this short interaction, I would say. I think every short interactions, I always say small is beautiful. All right, students, we have come to an end of yet another enlightening session, I would say. This is a very unique topic, as I always say. Agriculture, there's a lot of opportunities that this generation students can tap. I think this podcast has given you all those inputs. Though it was a short one, rather I would request all my viewers to follow Mr. Madhu in all the social media platforms. He's quite active in LinkedIn and other pages where you can get to know about his journey and the further inputs on the topic that you would be interested in. Feel free to get back to us if you want to explore your career in the agriculture domain. For as of now, we are ending this session. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channels at GIBS Business School, GIBS IRE Talks. For now, this is Professor Guru Prasad signing off. Thank you for watching.